Exciting information, ladies and gentlemen. God has a timeshare for you. It's a great deal. Limited availability. Act now. That's right. God has a timeshare for you, and it's a great deal. Trust me. God has a timeshare for you. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower. This is the Gospel Truth broadcast. And I sold timeshare for a lot of years for Marriott, so I know a thing or two about timeshare. And man, does God have one for you. Mac and Stood, what is your important rod question? We might as well start things off. We'll throw a little curveball. We'll do things a little different, a little switcherooski. We'll go to rod questions to start off our festivities tonight. 11 o'clock Friday night. Woohoo! Time to party. Who's got a rod question? We're ready to go. Mac and Stood was early, said it has a rod question. And no rod question. Sassy Susie, April, Durzo, Blent. I don't think I've seen you before. If I have, I apologize, but nice to see you just the same. Who has a rod question? Gnostic Spirit. Somebody give me a divining rod question. Or I'm just going to jump right into the great deal that God has for you on a timeshare. You won't believe this. It's such a good deal. Everyone's getting one. And here we go with Mac and Stood's rod question. That's a big question, Mac and Stood, but here you go. Will Mac and Stood's house transaction with Katie go well? Yes, it will. Thank you, Howard. Glad you like those. Howard Handy had some of the most interesting hands I've ever seen, and he says the reading I gave him, which was a full reading, was spot on, and I do appreciate the sponsorship that he gave me for doing that. Anybody else have a rod question? You're welcome, Mac and Stood. Let's do another rod question or two, and then let's jump into God has a timeshare for you. It's a great timeshare. God has a timeshare for you off planet, Davy. Cody from Memphis, Durzo Blent. Will I progress in my spiritual development? Yes, you will. Nick, I don't need to ask this at the rods, but we'll ask it anyway. Is Donald Trump a Knight or Templar? No, but he knows about it. Is Donald Trump a Knight or Templar? No. Thank you, Howard. I appreciate that. Should I build that cabin on my acreage that I've been... Come on, get off the Donald Trump question. They get all excited when they hear Donald Trump. Should I build that cabin on the acreage I've been thinking about? Undecided. Should Gnostic Spirit build that cabin that they've been thinking about? It's kind of looking no. I would think about it. Is Florida really God's waiting room? That's hilarious. We know the answer from that one. So let's go to God's timeshare. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, God does have a timeshare. He's got a timeshare just for you. Everybody's doing it. It's a great deal. Trust me. And God has a great timeshare for you. It's pie in the sky and a sweet by and by after you die. God's got a great timeshare. It's called the Heavenly Half Acre. It's called Hallelujah Shores. There's several developments up there, and God has a great timeshare for you. And he's got an easy payment plan, and you really should be getting one. You really should invest. God does have a timeshare for you. And let me tell you about this timeshare that God has for you. God has got a tremendous timeshare for you. And let's talk about the timeshare God has for you right now, because everyone knows what a great deal timeshare is. So God has a timeshare for you. And here's the description of the timeshare that God has for you. It sounds amazing, folks. The walls, ladies and gentlemen, are made of jasper. The walls, ladies and gentlemen, of the timeshare, they are made of jasper. And I know that not everybody knows what jasper is. So let's go ahead and we'll look at, see, I want you to understand the full beauty of this timeshare that God has for you. So let's look at it in the interlinear in verse number 11. God has a timeshare for you, and he describes it in perfect detail for you. It has walls that are like jasper. What is jasper? It has walls of jasper, which is a precious translucent stone. It's like some of them are blue, some of them are green, some are the color of brass. It is such a beautiful place. Even the walls, ladies and gentlemen, are covered with precious stones. What a great place. And it's clear as crystal, those walls are. It really is quite an amazing place. What a place. Even the walls are of jasper. There's a wall that has 12 gates, and on those 12 gates, they've got the names of the apostles written. Doesn't that sound great? The city, believe it or not, even though the walls are jasper, the city itself is pure gold. Can you believe that, ladies and gentlemen? God has a timeshare for you, and it has gold. It's made out of gold. I mean, Donald Trump came up earlier. He had a gold toilet seat, I think. The Vatican has golden fixtures in their bathroom, but this whole city is pure gold. And even the foundations of it are garnished with all kinds of precious stones: jasper, sapphire, chalcedony, emerald, sardonyx, sardius, chrysolite, beryl, topaz, chrysoprase, jacinth, amethyst. And folks, don't even be surprised there, because the streets, the gates are made out of pearl. And the streets, ladies and gentlemen, the streets are made of pure gold. Can you believe that? Golden walls, golden streets, gem-encrusted walls, gem-encrusted foundations. God has a great timeshare for you. Don't worry about paying the light bill, because the Lamb is the light thereof. And there's no day, there's no night at all. So it's all inclusive sunshine, 24/7, 365. And there's nothing bad in there. Just the good. All the bad stuff is outside. So if you stay on property, you're going to have the best time ever. It is the greatest timeshare that has ever been constructed. It's pie in the sky and the sweet by and by after you die. Doesn't that sound beautiful? Doesn't that sound gorgeous? Doesn't that sound amazing? God has a timeshare for you. Well, what does it cost? Well, that's the good news. There's really no down payment. You just get in without a down payment. Well, there is this one minor little down payment that you do have to make, but you know, it's not really that big a deal. It's just a little bitty down payment. And you know, we'll talk about what the down payment is if I can get this stupid thing to work for me. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the down payment. And it's really not that big of a deal, because it's something that you don't think is that important anyway. So, I mean, the down payment is pretty simple. The down payment is pretty easy, but wouldn't you like to have a timeshare where the streets are gold? I mean, wouldn't you like to be kicking up gold dust on Glory Avenue? It's amazing. Well, let's talk about the down payment. It's really not that big of a deal. The down payment is just this. You have to confess with your mouth that Jesus is your Lord. No, you can't say it silently. You can't just write it on paper. You've got to say it out loud. That Jesus is your Lord. You've got to say that out loud. You must confess it. And you have to believe in your heart that not only did God kill him, but God raised him from the dead. And then after that, you can be saved. And remember, you have to say it with your mouth. You have to confess it with your mouth if you want to get salvation. So all you have to do, I know it's not really that big a deal. All you have to do is make a soul contract. No money down, just a simple soul contract. All you have to do is make a soul contract. All you have to do is sell your soul to get your name on the roll. Just sell your soul and you can be kicking up gold dust on Glory Avenue. Just sell your soul and you can have a piece of the heavenly rock. Just sell your soul, make a soul covenant, a blood-based soul covenant based on sacrifice and bloodshed and human sacrifice. Just make a soul covenant. Just sell your soul and you're on the roll. You've got yourself a great, oh, I didn't tell you the best part. I didn't tell you the best part. Did you know that at this timeshare, everything is a mansion? Everything is a mansion in this timeshare. Did I not tell you that? Did I leave that part out? Well, that's because we like to give you the best part towards the end. So, yeah, you do have to make a soul contract. Yeah, you do have to sell your soul to get on the roll. But, ladies and gentlemen, you get a mansion. How's that? What kind of a timeshare gives everybody a mansion? Well, this heavenly timeshare gives everybody a mansion. In my Father's house, in my Father's timeshare, are many mansions. Isn't that amazing? Well, what do you mean you want to see the paperwork? You want to see what it really says on the, well, why do you have to read the paperwork? It says right there, many mansions. Well, okay, I'll show you the paperwork, I guess. I'll show you the paperwork. Because it says right here, in my Father's house, there's many. Well, what do you mean you want to see the word for mansions? Oh, well, it actually means a room, a dwelling place, an abode, an individual dwelling. So, I mean, I know the brochure said they're mansions, and I know that I said at first they were mansions, and I said that God's timeshare has mansions. Well, it doesn't really have mansions, but it's got a nice place for you. And did I mention there's no money down? Just sell your soul and your name's on the roll. Just make a blood covenant. Just identify with a human sacrifice, and you are on the roll. Sell your soul, your name's on the roll. Maintenance fees? Well, there's not really any maintenance fees, but once you sell your soul, well, I know you think that should be enough, but once you sell your soul, we do want 10% of your income on a whatever basis you get paid. So if you get paid every week, it's 10% of your income. We have to pay for those gold walls. We've got to pay for those gold streets. We've got to pay for all those jewels that go into the foundation. I mean, do you think those pearls come cheap? So yes, you just sell your soul. You're on the roll, no money down, and 10% of your income. Are there any special assessments? Well, not really, but we do want you to give in the offering too. So, I mean, just sell your soul. You don't value it anyway. It's no big deal. Just sell your soul. And then just give 10% of your income. And then just give an offering every now and then. And guess what? You can be part of Heaven's Half Acre. You can be part of the Hallelujah Place. You can be part of pie in the sky and the sweet by and by after you die. No money down. Great deal. Come on now, everybody. Step right up. Just go ahead and sign right there, and we'll do your soul contract, and you can get one of the very last mansions. Oh, okay, one of the very last rooms that is available in the heavenly timeshare. Don't you want one? Don't you want to do it? Everybody's doing it. Everybody loves it. Everybody thinks it's the greatest thing ever. Don't you want to do it? How many of you people really own a timeshare? How many of you people would really become a Christian if it was presented to you in that way? That's what it really is. How many of you have bought a heavenly timeshare? How many of you have sold your soul to get your name on the roll? How many of you? How many of you have done a timeshare deal with God? And like Jen says, most people that own timeshares can't unload them. And guess what? You can't unload this one either. Or at least that's what they want you to think. Smells like something's burning. Sorry about that. High pressure sales tactics. Timeshares are a bad idea. That's where all the tithes go. Perfect structures to trap your soul. Do you want a heavenly timeshare? Folks, this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. Trying to get you into a heavenly timeshare. Why in the world would you be involved in this? And now that you've seen what it really is, why do you continue to stay involved with it? Pie in the sky and the sweet by and by after you die. And 10% of your income while you're still around down here on the ground, plus your offering. Some people even have 2, 3 offerings. And what do you get for it? You get your place in a soul farm in the sky. Folks, it might even include free Wi-Fi. It might even include free Wi-Fi. So what about those of you that have purchased the heavenly timeshare? Well, they don't want to let you know about it, but you can cancel your heavenly timeshare contract. If you have sold your soul to get your name on the roll, just repeat after me right now in the name of Jeffrey Daugherty. Say your name. Right now in the name of, I cancel the covenant I made with the Lord and with Jesus. Right now, in the name of, say your name, I cancel the covenant and contract I made with the Lord. I am divine, I am sovereign, I am free. I renounce the vow of salvation I made. I renounce the vow that I made declaring that Jesus is Lord. I renounce the vow that I made that I'm a sinner saved by grace. I renounce it. I take it back. I cancel it. I renounce my blood covenant. I renounce my identification with human sacrifice. I am divine. I am sovereign. I am free. I take my sovereignty back and I cancel my heavenly timeshare right now. And if you do that, you are free. If you do that, you are clear. If you do that, you have canceled your heavenly timeshare. Folks, don't buy into it. It's a bad deal. It's a raw deal. You're paying, you're giving away your soul, you're guaranteeing your residence in a soul farm in the afterlife. Folks, it's a sham. It's a travesty. It's a mockery. It's a Travis shamockery. Don't buy into it. Fair warning, cancel that timeshare. No, the old-time Mormons do not get extra spaces for all of their wives. Many of you have canceled your contracts. I congratulate you. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty's Holy Timeshare Cancellation Service. Deborah Tucker smudged her house today in the name of Deborah Tucker. Davy is taking back his sovereignty. Can I get the 10% back I paid for years? No, but guess what? Consider yourself lucky that you got out before it cost you your soul in reality. Count yourself lucky that you got out before you really had to spend any time in a heavenly timeshare, aka soul farm. All deposits are non-refundable. And you don't get the free gift either because you canceled your timeshare. Jeff's Holy Timeshare Cancellation Service business is a booming. All righty then, let's do some more rod questions. Free to go. Fire when ready with the rods. I still have my receipt around here somewhere. Heard there were millions of virgins there, though. Yeah, there might be. How do you remove etheric implants? Well, that's a little bit of a story. It takes a little bit of a time. Should I have arm tendon cervix? That's a big question. Should Mac have arm tendon surgery? Says yes. Yes, I have sold timeshares before. I did it for like 6 or 8 years with Marriott. I don't get the whole virgin thing. They don't know what to do, but they're fresh, Jen. Come on. Is Jeff right? Rods, is Jeff right? Jeff is right. This one's a little slow today. Haven't used them much, so sometimes you got to spin them around and get them loosened up. All right. Easy, Rudy. Are we in the process of a magnetic pole reversal? Says no. Can Jeff be wrong? Yes, Jeff can be wrong. Oh, will you please stop with the virgin talk? God. Oh, man. Anybody else have any rod questions? Well, while you're thinking some up, let's do the GTA card of the day. This is kind of an all-purpose show. Was the shadow I saw today real? That's a good one. Was the shadow Anna saw today real? Yes. Was Deborah attacked with scalar weapons last September? No, 70 virgins. Will we have a rough winter in Chicago? Not so much. Yeah, the rods, I'm sending out, I should send out all the rods tomorrow, all the orders that I have. Let's do the GTA card of the day. Well, I've known a lot of church girls, and I would have to believe there may not be any virgins in heaven. Recovering soul, will I ever have sex again? Wow. I don't know. All right, so let's go ahead and do the GTA card of the day. There it is. What is the GTA card of the day? It is the Law of Life. GTA card of the day is the Law of Life. What is the Law of Life? Bam, the Law of Life. The Law of Life. What goes around comes around. Life returns to you what you put into it. Time is never wasted, for each moment is a lesson on some level. Life is necessary to manifest and practice that which we have gathered. There's always motion, evolution, even when you don't feel it. Life is a cycle with valleys and peaks. Both are needed. You can get exactly what you need to come into rapport with the law of life. Interesting. So that's the law of life. And that's really a lesson on life, isn't it? Very interesting stuff. Law of Life, GTA card of the day. I'm going to take my time and think about a question. What do you say to people that tell you they hear God answer their prayer? Here's what I say to if you hear God answering your prayer, I can guarantee you one thing: it's not God. If you hear God answering your prayer, I can guarantee you that it is not God, because there is no sound in the etheric realm where the gods are. So if you hear God, it's not God. Are succubus self-created? Yes. Will there be war on the 9th? Will there be war on the 9th? You got to be more specific. Is the USA planning to chip its citizens? Yes. Has Terry Brown been lied to? Yes. Yeah, God doesn't speak words. What are your thoughts on people that say they've been to heaven or hell? They're wrong. Is my little girl happy? Yes. Will we have war on October 9th? No. I don't know about your email. I'd send it to me again, Jen. Oh, no. Yeah, I'll answer that one. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, just send. Did you send me days, times? Serenity. Why would you say that in the chat room? That's no bueno. Remove. Oh, thank you, Mawson. You got to him before I could. Oh, Lordy. No. I was waiting on you. Oh, okay. I wonder where it is they go then. Who knows? It's either a deception or it's just something in their mind. Are there many realms on the astral plane? I think so, yes. Anybody else have a question? Was the shadow a negative thing? Oh, usually they are. Let's see. Was the shadow a negative thing? Yeah, shadow men, shadow entities are almost exclusively negative. Was Anna's shadow thing a negative thing? Yeah, they're almost all negative. They're almost always negative. What's Davey's question? I didn't catch Davey's question. You'll have to ask it again. Are there virgins in heaven? Jen, come on. Come on, Jen. Don't be silly. Oh, Jolie, that one. Yeah. Oh. Are reptilians involved in the blood bank system? Yeah. Can I stay married to a Yahweh believer? Ooh. Cody, that's too much for the rods. Can Cody stay married to a Yahweh believer? Yeah, you sure can. Are we as telepathic as I believe we are? Asked Travis. Yes. Will Hurricane Nate make landfall in New Orleans? No. Should Davy take his vision as an attack on himself? No. Is the entity I woke up yelling no to? Probably not, but let's ask. Is the entity I woke up yelling no to the rat bastard? No. Should I do something about the shadow man? Well, if you want to get rid of, don't want him to come back. If he does come back, just do the hue. Hue. That'll make him go away or get turned into a non-malevolent spirit. I'm going to go to my email and we're going to look at do some people's palms that I did. Where's some palms that I did? Oh, okay. Here's some palms that I did, and we haven't done this one yet, I don't believe. So let's go ahead and do these palms. Let me make sure I'm on which email I'm on. Come on, help me. All righty. So let's do the palms here. Palms done. All right, here we go. Here is a palm that I've done. And I'm going to give you the reading for this palm. All right, this person is artistic, passionate, balanced, makes quick decisions, has strong character, is healthy, is independent, needs freedom, is smart, has a lot of mental energy, is imaginative, has strong relationships, is warm and demonstrative emotionally. This person is opportunistic, creative, ambitious. This person seeks knowledge. This person is feminine. This person is aggressive. This person is sexual. This person likes the domestic life, cheerful, attractive, compassionate, has courage. Not a herd type person, like herd mentality, not that. Dominant personality, self-sacrificial, even to the repression of goals and dreams, has close family ties, enjoys physical intimacy. That's what that person does with that hand. How about that? That's some pretty interesting stuff, isn't it? All that from a hand. I don't know. I don't think we did that hand. Did we already do that hand? Well, let's do another hand. Let's do another hand. Let's do another hand. Here's another hand coming up. All right. Another hand coming up. This is a very, very interesting hand. I can't give you the whole thing, but this is a really, really interesting hand right here. And oh, shoot, I can't show the picture of that one because it's in the other email. Oh, well. I'll have to get on my other email. I can send this to myself, though. I will forward this to me. And then we'll do it. Send. Because this is one of the more interesting hands I've ever seen, actually. Very interesting. And this is a person, their hand, this person was right-handed, and their offhand, dude, their offhand was a wreck. I'll show you their offhand. This was their offhand. And folks, let me just tell you, from a palm reading perspective, this hand is a wreck. This hand is a train wreck. Just let me tell you, that hand is a train wreck. But their dominant hand, I mean, look at the difference between those two hands. Look at how beat up and roughed up. And I mean, that's a rough looking hand right there. Look at all those lines and stuff. And that's their non-dominant hand. But look at their dominant hand. See that you can see the difference right away in the hands. And let me tell you about this hand right here. First of all, this is a person that has done remarkable things with their life, because they were dealt a crappy hand in life, man. I am telling you, they were dealt a bad hand in life. That other hand that I showed you shows, I mean, bad hand, bad, really not a good palm. Here's what they are now based on this hand. And it just shows that this guy was dealt a really rotten hand, a bad deal. I mean, wow, it was going to be a rough ride, but he's turned it around into a rather remarkable ride. And that's why sometimes it's important to know which one's your offhand. That's kind of what the hand you're dealt. And then your dominant hand is what you've actually done with it. So this guy took a train wreck. I mean, bad, guys, bad hand, bad life, and turn it into this. And if you notice here on the lifeline, look, here it goes completely split. It's double and it's completely split. So this guy, I mean, had some tough stuff dealt to him, some really tough stuff dealt to him, and it was supposed to continue. You see that? It was supposed to keep being bad. It was supposed to just be rough. But, and I'm not going to go into such detail, he was able to arrest it and stop it. And even though it went through some bad times, anyway, here's the hand now. Artistic, creative, risk taker, self-assured, deliberate, shrewd, doesn't always express self. And I put in parentheses, perhaps by design, keeps cards close to vest. Vitality, very high energy, high strung, vivid imagination, perceptive, concise, precise, practical, strong, some type of a craftsman, creative, generous, hospitable, logical, positive energy, generally vital health, illness or profound changes in life around 30-ish. And there's a big story on that I found out afterwards. Warm and demonstrative, changes in emotional attachments, seeking fulfillment. I encourage him to make sure he's getting enough minerals. Likes love and involvement, can be intense in those arenas. You've had a lot of success. Don't get stagnant. Strong will, highly imaginative. I did the full thing on him, so it goes on and on and on. Useful common sense, had a break in tradition, has some significant changes in life, can see both sides of an issue, good writer, good with money, charming, flirtatious, may marry late in life, somewhat secretive, good luck, wealth, masculine, good balance of feminine energy, good libido, enjoys life to the fullest. And this person said, right on 100%. So that's a really good lesson to know that just because you are dealt bad cards, you don't just say, oh, poor me, I'm going to just blame everybody else in the world for everything. No, you get busy doing what you're supposed to do. And you get busy changing your life. That's why I say, make the change that you want to see. That's so important. And that dude made the change that he wanted to see. And that dude is living the change that he wanted to see. It was freaking awesome. And he's actually an inspiration to me after knowing what's going on in that life. It was really pretty cool. Got to hand it to him, though. Jeff really knows his stuff. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Here's Rocker Jig. Squirrel, what's everyone doing for Christmas this year? Doesn't matter right or left hand. Well, usually it doesn't. Usually you just read the right hand, Jen. But sometimes you take a little look, because sometimes you'll get an inspiration, because sometimes if you're right-handed, your left hand will show what you were dealt. And then your right hand will show what you've done with it, your active hand. So if you're left-handed, then your right hand will show what you were dealt, and your left hand will show what you did with it. Typically, if you look at your hands, there's going to be some difference between your left and right. Somebody just asked, what if they're kind of the same? Well, that means you basically were dealt what you were dealt, and you kind of played what you played. You didn't draw any extra cards. You just kind of did, what you do. That can be good. That can be bad. It just depends upon what you want it to be. It matters sometimes what your dominant hand is, but typically you'll read people's right hand. But when I saw that guy's hands, I said, whoa. And the first thing I asked him was, are you left or right-handed? Because I didn't know. He told me he was right-handed, and it was like, wow, this dude is an impressive individual. And it was really cool to see people like that. So that's the deal with that. It's good to see others change the hand they're dealt. Yeah, absolutely. I can't afford any more timeshares. Me either. What if we send ours in? Should we let you know if we're left-handed? Yeah, go ahead and let me know. Fingerprints is the mind of a master. Well, the fingerprints are part of palmistry. I read fingerprints as well. If you send me fingerprints that are able to be read, because sometimes you can't. Born lefty, raised righty. Somebody, were you the one that said that to me, Nancy Ray? Somebody said that. I'm actually left-handed, but they beat me until I started using my right hand, which is what they did to my dad. So again, typically you read the right hand. So that's very interesting stuff. Anybody got any more Rod questions? Do a person's hands change if they make changes in their lives? Absolutely. I mean, those hands that we just showed you, they totally and completely changed. I mean, that left hand and that right hand are like night and day. And yeah, they do think so. The hands do change. The lines can actually change. A photocopy of your hand. Huh. I wonder about that. A photocopy of your hand. I don't know. I never took a photocopy of my hand. I took one of my butt one time. But that's another story. That's another story. Because Satan was a lefty. That's hilarious. Satan was left-handed. I didn't know that. See the things you learn? I found a new line was never there before. Yeah, it'll happen, Jen. Davey just shakes his head. I'm not sure if he shakes that. Yeah, butt crack Xerox. Yeah, I did one of those one time. It's shockingly, they were shockingly detailed, as I remember. Cody, your hands are not hairy. I don't believe that. Are left-handed people spiritually inclined? Some of them. I don't think it's a general rule, not that I've observed. You can get a good photocopy of your hand. Will I get to meet Jeff Daugherty in person? I don't know. Let's see. Will April Corvin Ahmed ever meet Jeff Daugherty in person? Looks like yes. What does it mean if your life is split near the end? It means, now I don't want to get into a bunch of questions about how to read hands because it's really a science and it takes a while to learn. But typically, if your lifeline is split near the end, that means that you may have some, make some changes late in life. The left-hand path is often associated with the dark path. That's true. Good point, Rudy. Satan is like our thoughts. If you think only you have, yeah, okay, whatever. Another attack this harvest. Will there be, oh, that's a good question. Will there be another attack this harvest? Says no. Will there be another attack this harvest? Says no. Will Oklahoma have a big earthquake in 2017? No. How long have I been reading palms? In earnest for about 10 years. Jeff, did my email work? Maybe I sent too many pics. Not sure. No, I've just been really busy and I got tons and tons of requests. So, and I'll be totally frank with you, the people that want full palm readings that are given a donation, I do those first. I'm sorry. All righty. So, folks, God does have a timeshare for you. I recommend you don't buy it. We have told you how to cancel your timeshare with God. My favorite place in the world. That's a tough one. I really enjoyed Bavaria. Payday's coming. Rocker Chick explains a lot. Will California fall into the ocean? Oh, excuse me, been a long day. Yawning right in the middle of your own show. That's bad stuff. Well, folks, if you do have some ideas that you'd like to hear me talk about, feel free to send me emails. Feel free to put in the chat the things you'd like to talk about. I do get a lot of, yes, P, I did. Thank you. I do get a lot of ideas from this. Marsden, good night, my brother. Pleasant dreams to you. I just want the free meal. I can't afford the timeshare. You don't want to eat what he that shall not be named is serving, Ransom. He will not. You do not want that. Not at all. Okay. So, I mean, it's been a heavy week. Obviously, it's been a heavy, some heavy information about what's going on behind these attacks. Just make sure we understand that it really is the rat bastard that is causing these to be perpetrated for the blood magic power and for the prayer power that comes following them. So we need to starve the blood god. And I want to talk about, as we get going, more about the gods and more about learning who your gods are, realizing that the rat bastard is not your god. And when I talk about starving the blood gods, there's really only right now one blood god. So we need to starve he that shall not be named. And I think that if you just absolutely positively have to have a relationship with a god, you ought to go back to your ancestral gods. just reading some of these things in the chat room. You know, I looked at that Discord thing. I guess I was afraid, I was kind of hesitant to download it, but maybe I should, because I guess it's a place where there's a lot of people talking. Is it like Reddit? Is that what Discord is? Is Discord like Reddit? Well, he doesn't exist as a deity anymore, but he's trying to prove everybody that he is a deity. I tell you what, I trust Odin a lot more than I trust he that shall not be named. I'll tell you that much right now. Is Discord like Reddit? Somebody let me know, por favor. Belinda Brubaker, haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you there. Good to see you. Jeff, did you see that clip? Rudy, I saw the clip, and I don't know if you can see this or not. No, don't do Discord. Why shouldn't I do Discord, Mackenstock? Rudy, can you see that? I just went to Redbox, Redbox, and rented this. So see, I do listen to you guys. Yeah, Jen, me and you, we're right on the same thing, man. So yeah, I got that. I'm gonna watch that tonight. We need more likes in this video. Yeah, let's go ahead and hit some likes, please. And we've talked about the Hebrews over my last couple of videos. Jen, how is it? Is it worth watching? Rudy, hold on there. I got to show you something. Hold on, folks. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. Oh. Sorry, I didn't even have to go that far. I just binge watched the whole first series, and I just got this in the mail today. Folks, you ought to read this. This is like looking behind the curtain. I'm telling you, you ought to watch the series. It's like looking behind the curtain. I'm telling you, guys. Wow. Oh, so Discord is just a chat room. Why shouldn't I go in to the chat room? Some people say don't go into Discord. Anyway, I've been here, much to contemplate, much love, Jeff. Thank you, Belinda. The series is on, it was on, where did I watch it? I watched it on Stars, I believe. And I got Stars through Amazon Prime. Oh, it saves chat. Okay, you can talk to people like Skype without videos. Okay. Movies are imaginations. And yeah, let's talk about this, because we've talked about a lot of times, and I've heard a lot of people talking about why movies have to show us things and why do they have to tell us what they're going to do. And it's some kind of a code. I don't think it may not be that, it may not be that detailed. Nigel, that's a good statement. There's more truth in the movies than there is on the news. Because I think that when the rat bastard is trying to do his stuff, his intentions are in the ether. And creative people like authors and like people that make TV programs pick up on what is in the ether. Ransom, that's interesting, Ransom. I like that. They pick up on what is in the ether. And Ransom, Cosmic Rule is no longer in effect. I'm going to see if I can find your email, and I might send you an invite to see if you want to come on and talk about what you mean by that right now. See if I can pull up your email real quick. There it is. I don't know if you want to accept it, but there you go. If you do want to accept it, feel free. If you don't, feel free. But I'd like to know what you talk about that, but that rule is no longer in effect. But I was thinking that, I mean, it's obvious, because yes, that's my email. K1, nice to see you. I don't think I've seen you in a minute. So when his thoughts, because even the rat bastard has to, when he begins to make intention, it goes out into the ether. And when it goes into the ether, creative people that listen can pick it up. So guess what? You can pick it up as well. And I think that's what happens more than there being some law that these people have to tell us what they're going to do, that these people have to let us know what they're going to do, that there's some type of a clean hands thing. It's easier for me to believe that that it just is something that is picked up in the ether than it's some type of a code or something. So anyway, I've got like 20 people in the chat room already dedicated to Jeff. How about that? I'll go to that, Cody. I'll download it and I'll go with it. I'll check it out. But I think that's one of the things that one of the reasons why we're getting why they do it, because I think just sometimes creative people pick it up. And I mean, they might be doing it. They might be doing it. I don't know as well. But anyway, it's interesting stuff. And if the elite controls this media, they hint and prepare us. Yes, that's possible. I'm not going to completely rule that out. Not going to completely rule that out. But I am going to watch. I watched the whole first series of American Gods, and I'm telling you, you should watch it. It gives you a glimpse behind the curtain. I don't think it's the characters that they are showing are doing what they're doing. I think it's all the rat bastard, but it is showing you what the rat bastard is doing behind the curtain. And if I were to guess, I would think that all the other gods are against the rat bastard and trying to keep him from coming into leadership, because they don't want him. The Elohim didn't want him. He's a bad seed. And it's very, very interesting stuff. It really is. I don't think our intention starts in the ether, abstract thinker. I think our intention starts within our mind, within our own. We generate our own intention, but intention is transmitted across the ether. And it leaves a contrail, for lack of a better term. So it's out there and people can pick it up on it. People can, they can see it, they can read it. And I've only got a few pages into the book, but I'm looking for the book to be much more detailed than the movie. Rudy's absolutely right. Yahweh is Yaldabaoth. And it's very, very interesting stuff. So there you go. So yeah, we're definitely doing some stuff. We're definitely looking into some depths. We're definitely looking into as much as we can look into. So I appreciate you being here on a Friday night. We are gods. Absolutely. We just haven't figured that out yet, Jen. And I'm trying to get you to believe it and receive it and act in accordance with that, because it's really, really important that we do it. We have to understand. I don't know if I want to make him suffer as much as I just want to forget about him and let him die. If there's no original thought left, does that mean original thought is diluted? I think there's still original thought. I really do. I still think there's original thought. I thought this was Friday. What day is this? This is Thursday. My bad. That's 8 minutes from Friday, but it is Thursday night. My bad. We are demigods because we're mortals. I think that we're a different class because we were created as gods, but we got tricked into these mud hut bodies. So I think that makes us a different kind of entity all together. Yahweh made the bodies, Cody, out of clay and then tricked us into them. Because if you'll look, that didn't happen until chapter 2 of Genesis, and we were created in chapter 1 of Genesis, verse 26, 27. So, yeah, we're kind of like X-Men, but we don't know we're X-Men. In Osaka, it's almost 1 p.m. So I think that's the answer to that question. If you have any other questions, let me know. I'll try to have my super duper cool microphone stuff hooked up tomorrow. I'll probably do that tonight late so we can improve the sound for you. And it improves the optics a little bit anyway, doesn't it? It looks kind of cool. At least I can look like I know what I'm doing. So there you go. Interesting stuff. I appreciate all the input. I appreciate all of the encouragement. Does the rat bastard use electricity? I would think so. The dulcet tones of Mr. Darty. Ah, yeah. It should be a good mic, yeah. That should be very helpful and should make it for better sound for everybody. And should help my my vocal cords as well. I'm really considering going on the road next week. I think I'm gonna get the mobile home out, the RV, and I'm gonna take Rooney and we're gonna go down to Coral Castle, and I'm gonna kind of use that as a test run for if I want to go out and do that more, because you get a whole bunch of, you don't get much mileage. Yep, gonna make new rods. K1, did you send me an email? Come join my round table on Hangouts. Okay. Great show and much love to all. Yeah, I'm glad you saw me on Rex as well. All righty, folks. It's been an hour. I appreciate you being here. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up. And I do salute those of you that are here. When you're there, there are no questions because you just know all the answers. I salute those of you that are seeking truth. Either the world's gone crazy or you have. I'm here to help you decide which, and to try to encourage you to unindoctrinate yourself. You don't have original sin. You got the spark of divinity within. So please love yourself, love your neighbors as yourself, and be excellent to each other. And let's keep on making the change that we want to see.